I've been trying to get in trouble. Thank you.
She's on the next one. She's on the next street.
Oh, he's the next one.
She's on a second. Hey, this is a surprise. What did I do now? What did I do now?
You did right.
Went for the girl.
I did right,
So,
but I'm left-handed.
well, you're ambidextrous by now.
Money from my boss. If I don't, my daughter. Hey, take a picture with my daughter. Hi, Whitey. Hey, come here, show it up. You remember this?
No, you were supposed to wear a tan ring.
Did you hear that? Friend with camera and stuff.
This is the best frame up I've ever had.
Did you take a picture of the lake?
Okay.
My girl. That's right.
Actually, late.
I'll take it.
This is my boss. What a frame up.
The one you were supposed to meet this afternoon.
Sylvia. Sylvia, honey.
What the hell are you? You have places in front.
I didn't know what to say when you get
I don't get that much fun. We're on the same channel.
I didn't know what excuse to make, honey. I said, call me after you go to the city.
Hello, Lorette.
Oh, that's wonderful. So good to see all your friends are here to see.
She was supposed to wear a green dress. She was supposed to wear a green dress.
The most beautiful baby in the world.
Thank you.
That's what your mother
That was
told
45 years ago, though.
Nice to meet you. That's what's so much about you.
I knew you.
You know, I mean, that's his son.
You know, I suppose you call Janine's the only last I missed him. That's a problem. Yeah, to go over to Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you.
This is wonderful.
You recognize him?
John hasn't seen me yet. John? Hey, hi, my old friend.
Oh, what the hell are you doing here?
Right here.
I thought you'd be in a wheelchair.
You are in a wheelchair. Yes.
Sam I will.
Oh, dear, this is wonderful. That was fun. Really, oh, good. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Sometime I hope to get there and see it.
Oh, that's good. I guess that's where we're...
Oh, yeah, as long as it's around. You're not going to go to Canada, but as long as it's around.
All right, we can talk
Yeah.
now. I want to get going.
Charlie should not see straight.
The late as it is, don't make it late.
You visit after. Come on, visit after. I think you know.
How are you? Sylvia, will you?
Well, I'm working.
I never went to high school. George Harris. Holding back on George Hines. I'm trying. We used to steal that with a triple charm. Try to get out. George Hines. Dad.
You can steal apples after.
Dad, I ran half an hour in 20 minutes.
You can steal apples after. Some of them really.
George Hines over there.
Welcome to all Domina, congratulations to you, to your wonderful wife, your family, on having been inducted into the Woonsocket Hall of Fame. This honor, long overdue, was bestowed upon you by Mr. Lionel Jalbert, representing Hall of Fame. Mr. Jalbert is here with his wife, I believe. You want to just wave to us, and your dad will know you're there. John, you are being honored in the same room as was President Abraham Lincoln. This by itself is an honor. May I now introduce His Honor Mayor Francis Lanctot and his charming wife Claire. I say charming wife because she was a nurse before she married.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the City of Woonsocket, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome this very, very fine genius. And that's what I consider you to be, sir. I told you last night it was a pleasure to shake your hand, and it's a greater pleasure to have you in Harris Hall. As Ahmed said, Abraham Lincoln spoke in this very room on March 8th in 1860 when he was running for president. So we have two great people who will have spoken in this hall after today, Abraham Lincoln and Domina Jalbert. Now, as a newly elected mayor, I've always tried to tell the truth, but Doris made me tell a fib. We used the pretense of wanting to get you here to give you the key to the city. And we really used that as an excuse to get you here so all of your wonderful friends would have a chance to see you. But I do have a key to the city, but the only reason I thought a key was unnecessary because for you, the door will never be locked. So, first of all, I have this key that I will present to you. And as I said, the door is not locked, so you just keep it as a memento. It's one of the hot, the treasury, huh? Well, you're not going to find much in there right now. And I also have a proclamation that I would like to read, and it says, "Know all by these men present and ladies that I, Francis Lanctot, Mayor of the City of Woonsocket, by the power vested in me, do hereby proclaim Saturday, September 29th, 1990, as Domina Jalbert Day in the City of Woonsocket."
Where'd you get this funny-looking thing up there?
Well, I have to confess to you, I made a promise to Doris and Ahmed that I would have that kite flying in the wind with these two fans. Unfortunately, that's another promise I had to break. We tried all afternoon, we couldn't get it to do with those little fans. So we have that, but we have something special we're going to be doing at the end of the program. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again.
We are not connected with Ralph Edwards or with Bert Parks, but Domina Jalbert, don't forget that, Jalbert, this is your life.
Don, you were born December 15, 1904 in Saint-Michel-des-Saints, province de Quebec, Canada, the 17th child of a family of 21, and the only survivor. You left Canada and settled in Woonsocket when you were 4 years old. At that young age, your mother taught you how to make kites out of string and remnants of cloth and how to fly them. This was your only toy. You attended St. Anne's School, but due to your family's financial condition, you had to leave in the 6th grade. We tried desperately to have someone from that parish. Okay, nuns through Sister Gilbert, priests through the pastor, Father Houle, but it was impossible due to Mass and other commitments. May I now give you our wonderful friend and dedicated Mrs. Viola Barad, who has been such a help to Armin and I in the preparation of today's events.
Dom, there was one person who was very close to you from childhood until 1988, and that was my brother-in-law, Dr. Lou Barad. And he was from St. Louis, Missouri. You and Dr. Barad served as altar boys at St. Anne's. Do you remember that? I can imagine the mischief you must have gotten into. And you shared many hours together at the Barad home on Cass Avenue. Remember that? A mutual interest in aeronautics and inventions kept the friendship alive for over 70 years. Both you and Lou were pilots and had your own planes. Visits were exchanged through the years between St. Louis and Boca Raton. And Lou often spoke of you as his very dear friend. Another friend from Missouri, John Coleman. Remember him? He shared many hours with you and Dr. Barad in St. Louis and Florida, and he asked me to extend his congratulations to you as he was unable to be here. John remembers one event when you put one of your balloons on top of Kaufman's garage in St. Louis and left it there for a week. Remember that? And Dr. Sells Barad, the younger brother of Dr. Louis Barad, was unable to be here, but sent this message to you from Washington. It's Washington, Missouri. It said, "Dear Domina, I have just heard of your nomination to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations on receiving such an honor. I've had the opportunity every now and then of following your many accomplishments through my brother Louis Neal. It's always a pleasure to hear of the many successes of old acquaintances. Again, congratulations, Sells."
That's from Sells?
That's from Sells. Okay? And then they also, Giles Gallant, that's Lorette's son, and Lou's nephew, sent a message that came today from Chicago. And he was unable to be here, but I would like to read you the note. He says, "Thank you kindly." He addressed this to Mr. and Mrs. Demers through the invitation. It says, "Thank you kindly for inviting me to Mr. Jalbert's surprise on September 28th. Unfortunately, because of business commitments, I will not be able to attend. Thank you for inviting me, and I trust that you will all enjoy Mr. Jalbert's visit." Other Barad family members here today are Mrs. Lorette Gallant, Lou's sister, and the late Raoul Barard's daughter, Sister Bernadette, sitting right over here. And my son Norman and his wife Marion came from Poughkeepsie, New York, especially to share this day with you. Norman had the pleasure of visiting you a few years ago in Boca Raton and came back with one of your kites. Now, Norm and Marion spent a week at the Cape this summer, taking the kite along, and they flew it daily on Cape Cod this summer. One of the kites like that. So you see, it's still put to use. And Dom, may I remind you of something else that maybe you would like to forget?
I have a comment to make on that.
Your turn is coming, Glenn.
Not guilty. When I got arrested, I told the cop, "I'm not going fast, I have a tailwind."
Did it work?
Well, we thought we would share this interesting moment with you. With a motorcycle. That's right. And here's a picture of you with a helmet on.
Oh, that's when I was a pilot.
That's right.
I got arrested on 5th Avenue going 50 miles an hour. I was coming home.
Couldn't wait to get to Woonsocket.
Now, I'm going to leave this poster with you, too, that you can take it back as a souvenir. Then please, Dom, reduce your speed in the future, because we want you around for a long time to come, as we all love you, Dom.
I have all this documents.
Thank you, Bart. In your class was a young girl by the name of Emma Boutsier. We will see that later on in life, this name will be important, and that this person will mean a lot to you.
You were not always an angel. Matter of fact, you never were an angel. Here is an example that you were not an angel, be an angel. You and a friend stole apples, and while jumping the fence, your friend tore his pants. You rushed home to get Neil and Ted to sew them. In fact, you did such a good job that you sewed the pants onto his underwear. With the help of a friend from Kennebuck, Maine, we found the pants, and George Hine, the other apple stealer, wishes to show them to you. There's something in the pocket. There's still a napkin in the pocket.
The box like crime. Well, we didn't steal them, did we? We took them. We never steal. No. Took all the good.
Tom, being athletic and interested in sports, you joined the YMCA. You wanted to join. Let me do it. They were smart. No, the YMCA, and did so well in sport that you won the 1922, 1923 gold medal, and which you have with you today.
That's why I want
To
you to
represent the Y, we have with us Mike Kozel, the director of the Y today. Mike Kozel.
Mr. Jalbert, it's an honor for me to be here today. Although we haven't met before, I've only been at the Y for 3 months. But I've been speaking to Florence for about all of 4 weeks, I believe, as she's been involved in the planning efforts here, and she's told me about your exploits and your youthful days at the YMCA. And I'm particularly impressed with your athletic exploits. And on behalf of the YMCA, the Board of Directors, and the President of the YMCA, Mr. Lloyd Garricky, I'd like to read this to you. Mr. Jalbert, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Woonsocket YMCA and all its members, we wish to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your outstanding achievements. It makes us especially proud to see one of our former YMCA members so honored. Your return to Woonsocket, no doubt, brings back fond memories, one of which is your young days at the YMCA. We are most proud to see you have accomplished so much, and the Woonsocket Hall of Fame will be enriched with the addition of the Master of the Wind. Best wishes in all your future endeavors, and we invite you to stop by and visit us. I know it's been a while, and we're proud of our new building, our new pool, and the facilities in general. And you'll be delighted to see some of the changes at the Y, and perhaps see some of your old friends. But most importantly, with all the people that are here gathered today, we want you to enjoy your friends, because they're the most cherished gift we could think of, and we share your happiness and are most grateful to be part of these festivities. So on behalf of the YMCA, congratulations.
You were successful and became track coach at Mount St. Charles in 1935, 1939. That time you had already won 13 cups, 12 medals, and many, many trophies. Imagine how many you have today. We have with us Brother Robert Curtu, director of Mount St. Charles. I don't feel he wants to say anything, but just be wave your hand. Director of St. Charles today. But he's being nice to you because he told me things that I'm not going to repeat. Of local interest, in 1930, in conjunction with a political campaign, you suggested flying a plane with a banner reading, "Do break for mayor." At big expense at the time of $15 a day.
What are his rates now?
I don't know. The bad is because of political advertising now. We believe that this helped the mayor to be elected. To represent him today, we have his son, Dr. Ernest Dupree, and his charming wife, Renee. Doctor, you.
That's why your father won. $15. Good to see you. I'm very happy to see you. Glad you did.
Do you remember that the first, mind the wrong card, done that before.
Oh, you don't mind, because we're amateurs, we're not professionals. In 1932, you married Elizabeth Becker, who died in 1935. Of this marriage was born a daughter, Dorothy. At one time, you used her as a model in one of your experiments, namely having your kites lifting her in the air. Apparently, the test was successful because Dorothy is here today. Here is darling. Dorothy, would you please get up? The 12 girls whom you mentioned as having traveled with you at U.S. Rubber in Naugatuck, Connecticut, could not be located. But through station WWON, we found one. Here is Miss Vicki Jacks.
Well, Connie Goodrow and I were the first two that were hired to work for U.S. Rubber. We were training in Naugatuck, Connecticut, when this tall, handsome man with a mustache walked in. And he had an accent, so Connie and I were sure that he was a spy. But we found out later that he was working for the government, and he was working for the defense of our country, just like we were. Well, we had some fun as soon as we found out what a good sport Don was. We called him Don. We didn't call him Domina. Don, do you remember Joe Riley's famous flivver that had no roof and no doors? And we would go up on top of the mountain for cookouts and lake compounds to go swimming. And Connie Goodrow and I would come home weekends and we'd sit in the back seat. We'd have to tie ourselves in with rope because there were no doors. And remember how we got wet, really wet? Should we say those were the good old days? Well, I was happy to hear that you had become a member of the Hall of Fame, and I want to offer my congratulations.
Thank you. Domina, all I can say, you must have been the devil. You must have been the devil.
I did. That's why I want to marry an angel.
You remember that the first aviation field in Rhode Island was named the Champ-Poitiers? Does anybody else in here remember the first aviation field was called the Champ-Poitiers in Woonsocket?
Is that down in Hillary?
I don't know. I don't remember, but my wife is much older than I am.
I peeked through Don's notes, through all of the material he sent, and I
For the Champ-Poitiers?
read. Yes.
Don't put me in a bag now.
On Domina Road?
I don't know, where was it?
I remember.
There wasn't.
You remember?
I remember.
See how?
I have no friends left. All right. Don, you were an aviator for 30 years, and as well as an athlete. The testing ground was Berry Field. During the Depression, not able to find work as an aviator or in the sports field, you came back to good old Rhode Island and worked at Concert Point. In 1937, you became an American citizen. In 1943, you met your former music acquaintance, Billy Bushy, and married her. Of this marriage, his son Paul was born. These two, Billy and Paul, were the driving force behind your career and success. May we present Billy, Paul, and his wonderful wife, Mary Ann.
Billy.
Sure. Take a sign.
I know you would.
Fix you up. One of their inventions, going back to introducing you, one of their inventions, the kite-toon, was built in your kitchen with their help. This was first considered a military secret. The first public showing was held in Woonsocket by
Where did you get all this information?
Don, one of your ideas. Now, one of your ideas, the dirigible plane, had to be put on the back burner because of the war. Years later, it was picked up by the USSR in 1974. Remember? We made an effort to recapture events of your life with the posters that are yours to keep. And they're right here in the back, and the public is invited to examine them and read up on all your escapades. And I'm sure that your friends are going to enjoy that too. We also wanted a picture of you big as life. And I think we succeeded in the large poster made in the back of a magazine. And through the grapevine, we heard that you bought most of your materials for your kites here in Woonsocket at Eisenberg and Ticton's, on Page Street, and later at Clinton, Cumberland Street corner. Ben Eisenberg sends his congratulations on behalf of his late father and grandfather. And you may enjoy the news items of 1948 relating to Joseph Eisenberg and Nathan Ticton. And I searched the library at the Woonsocket Call to find some information for you, hoping to get a big picture, but I didn't find one. So in lieu of a picture, this is from 1948, and there's an article on Mr. Eisenberg and one on Mr. Ticton. So you can read that in your leisure. Okay? Fine. And Ben Eisenberg has been a devout person in the community too. Thank you very much.
Is one of your masterpieces for which you were honored. Here are some of the others. In 1956, multi-cell canopy. In 1962, cargo parachute. In 1964, parafoil. In 1980, world's largest kite, and same year, you were the designer for the Dolly spin maker for the yacht Stars and Stripes, which in 1987 won the American Cup. As listed in history, courtesy of Pan American Airways, had the following contacts with Propulsion Lab of California, with University of Chicago, Penn State University, Johns Hopkins, University of Florida, Patrick Air Force Base, Woods Hole Institute to measure depth of Caribbean Sea, Operation Deep Freeze to send a long antenna system for communication with outside world from the Antarctic region, Mattel Memorial Institute for pollution study over the United States metropolitan area, Rockefeller Foundation for malaria studies in the Latin American jungles, and multi-purpose projects in Sweden, Canada, Israel, Brazil, Japan, China, Russia, and many, many more. Doris.
Mr. John Nicolaitis of the University of Notre Dame, pardon me, one of NASA's directors, referred to Jalbert's inventions as the most important since Leonardo da Vinci's. If this Italian genius of the Renaissance period, founder of the kite in 1495, were around, you two would no doubt be good friends. 2 years ago, while on Roger Bouchard's WNRI's Channel 2 program, you mentioned that you would like to meet up with Father Craple's two sisters. Finally, we were able to contact Nita. Her husband died recently. She feels she is still in mourning. Her sister is in a nursing home, so it is impossible to have them with us. We also have a letter from Mrs. Stefanici, who, sorry to say, is on a trip. Would have loved to be with you, but she sent you this message. Her husband worked with you in Connecticut. And Mr. Sadwin has also sent you a letter, two letters here.
Mr. Sadler, I believe is here.
Mr. Sam Stein is with us, thank goodness. And your kites have proven very popular with the physically handicapped, whom you have done so much for. When asked, why are they so popular? Your answer is this: if they fall over my kites, they cannot get hurt. Of interest to local people, especially to Armin and I, is the fact that you used to get your wood from E. Brother and Son. Robert Brother is my brother-in-law. He died, but that was in my family. You are referred to as the Einstein of aerodynamics, also as the master of the wind. We agree. On your Boca Raton plant, a sign reads, "Mines are like parachutes. They only work when opened." You certainly have proven this. Now we have two special messages. May I read the first one? To the many friends and admirers of Domina Jalbert, I'd like to extend our best wishes, respects, and congratulations to Dom Jalbert on the occasion of his induction into the Woonsocket Hall of Fame. This being the latest honor and recognition to be given to him for his many achievements and contributions. I am very sorry I won't be able to attend the ceremonies and parties due to previous commitments which I have with the Air Force. Our group is very privileged to have been associated with Dom for the past year on new technologies, which we are attempting to introduce for research and rescue operations for sunken aircraft and vessels. Although some of our work involves developments which indeed are very new, the basis for it all involves Dom's contributions, dating from the 30s of the Kytoon, parafoil, and related aerodynamic devices, which have long been used with great success in many peacetime and defense applications. It certainly is a very sad state of affairs that Dom has not received all the recognition due him for his many innovative contributions, and even sadder that others have frequently taken bows which rightfully were his to take. It is therefore most fitting and proper that friends and associates of Dom Jalbert have gathered to pay their respects in the manner you have chosen. Again, I am very sorry I can't join you in this celebration, but I do appreciate the opportunity I've been given to make my own sentiments known and to convey my own very great respect to the keen spirit which is Dom Jalbert. William Bannister.
Dr. Bannister.
Yes, Dr. Bannister. So I wrote to him and he tried to pick up. And now, the pièce de résistance, one from our friend from Kennebunkport, Maine, and Washington. Our wonderful president and his wife, George and Barbara Bush. Dear Mr. Jalbert, the White House, September 17th. Dear Mr. Jalbert, it is a great pleasure for me to join your family and friends as they honor you on the occasion of your induction into the Woonsocket Hall of Fame. Your many inventions and all the work you have accomplished has not escaped the recognition of the good people of Woonsocket and your friends throughout our country. Congratulations. George Bush joins me in saluting you as you are inducted into the Hall of Fame. You have our very best wishes for a lovely evening and success and happiness in the days to come. Warmly, Barbara.
Just to show you that how well it pays to be a Republican. Today stands before us this great man, great son, great husband, great father, great friend, great humanitarian, Domina Jalbert. I never can remember that middle name, Cleophas, is so very few. Domina Jalbert. Your life compared to your invention has soared the highest peak that could be reached by man. More honor than can be bestowed upon a human. By now down, you must have reached heaven. May we present you with this small gift, which is nothing compared to what you gave us, the honor of knowing you. Now, may I, yes.
No, that's
May I say thank you to all people who helped us today. And I'd like to mention a few. Mrs. Doris DeMillis, Mrs. Viola Perrin, two who are worth many on the committee. To Mayor Francis Lanctot for offering part of City Hall to demonstrate kite flying, and to all the help they found time to give. And I'd like to mention at this time that the mayor enjoyed himself so much we put up that flag up there with that kite. Yeah, we have decided to give it to him. We'd like to see it in flight, but we'll give it to him. To Romeo Bertion for special help given. To WNRI for special advice. To WWON, Narma Bayancourt. To Muriel, the mayor's secretary. To Mr. Robert Bonet, our video specialist, to Mrs. Jane McBride for helping us by giving a list of relatives, to David Gray, director of Video Club of Woonsocket, who I don't believe is here, but said he would be, to Paul Dubois of Woonsocket Call. Special thank to Mr. and Mrs. Lionel Najra for the induction of Mr. Jalbert in Woonsocket Hall of Fame, and to the Heritage Cable Company. I may have forgotten some that I didn't mean to. Many that I thought that I probably forgot to mention. At this point, may I, if I can find my way out of it. God bless you, my dear friend. And now may our guests join Domina and his family in refreshments and a visit. Thank you. May I say that I may have forgotten to mention the Monday morning industry catering. They're the ones that are preparing this paper here, which you will find is something out of this world. Monday morning industry. Do not forget that. We'd like to engage your voice.
All I can say it's been a pretty dull life. I have a lot of things to do in my spare time.
No, that'd be part of it.
My friend Judge Hines here, he and I were doing cross-country practice out in the field, and we saw some apples in a tree. They were not there after we left. I brought one and gave it to my wife, Billy. You know, Adam stole Eve's apple. Now I'm going to steal my wife's apple. I'm very happy to be here with you. It was very unexpected. And the son of the man that got me off the road financially by paying $15 to have his name on a social corner is Mr. Dupree. I want to thank every one of you, Major Dario, and all our friends. I don't know, I cannot mention everybody. Hey, there's the boss over there. Mr. Lajoie, happy to see you. Happy to see everybody. And Mr. Mayor, thank you for your invitation to me here today. This is my hometown. When a man leaves home, or anybody leaves their home, no matter where they go, whether it's a day, a month, or a year, I've been gone for 35 years, and I came back a couple of times with my aircraft, about 7 trips to Central Airport. It always feels my heart good to be back in my hometown of Woonsocket. Silence is gold.
I never thought you'd be speechless.
Thank you, Tom. And now let's join Tom and his friend at the entertainment table.
Put angles on that. I'll never be able to use it. You did that.
Domina, somebody suggested that we open that gift table. It's a cable.
See, I'm getting old. And even, oh, Billy is so funny. I love this one. It means so much to me. You'll never know the picture. This is it.
Billy, you help me?
It's going to get in my
Billy, will you help the old man open his gift? Help him to open his gift. What do we do called pregnant?
You have to take care of these old ladies and all. Want a bet? I'm not a bet woman. Do you want a bet?
Oh, yes. Yes, Sam, yeah. I'm going to visit.
Hey, how do I open it?
It's a pound of coffee.
Yeah, I remember living on Rhode Island.
We're finding out who it was.
The color is like you.
We used to live on Shelby, Bill and Anthony, we lived on
Fix it
Shelby.
up to go with your dress. I talked to her this morning.
That's where we lived on Shelby last night. I used to go down to campus. And fly on that big vacant lot.
I like to say the
But I
paper.
remember going back there and flying with it.
Paper, paper.
I like save the paper.
I don't mind it.
So was I.
That's what I do. Christmas market. That's how I make my money and save it. What are they posted? Oh, metal. Thank you.
I'm in National Fall in 1942.
Yeah, I live in Florida also.
Thank you so much, and I know just where I can put it. You just have to. You have
Now I'll never get my hands on that thing.
It's all right, especially if it's money. Sylvia's area.
sun in my eye.
Yeah, I do. I want you to read it.
Too late.
Is it on gloss? Something to read? I do like gloss.
Yeah, they're good on the.
While she's opening this, I want to mention
The
to
other ones
you,
that aren't living in Florida.
when I received the world highest honor
grandchildren.
on parachuting from
Those
Tel
are the
Aviv,
ones that don't
I was
live in.
transferred to Muskogee, Oklahoma. I received a 12-ounce solid gold medal, the same as Chuck Yeager has. I gave it to her. I haven't seen it since.
I don't see it either. Oh, this is beautiful.
She wants you to read it.
Oh, Sylvia! These are pictures that were taken how many years
Oh,
ago?
we won't mention how many years ago.
Yeah.
When the
Oh,
strawberry
God.
cheese pie.
Oh, I can fill this up.
So, yes, you can
Thank
fill
you
it.
so much. Sylvia, this is
There's a card there. I want you to read.
I thought the cards were in St. Louis.
I'm a little nervous. You read it, I haven't got my glasses, and of course I can't see without them. And I won't wear glasses.
Dom and Billy, our roots are in Woonsocket, right. Remember our happy times in Woonsocket. Remember the old Blackstone Hotel. Remember Dom flying one of his first blimps at Lorette's Louis Quisset Pike home, using her vacuum cleaner reverse to blow it up.
And this is the truth.
Remember our fun days in Florida aboard one yacht.
Yeah, and this is the picture.
Oh, yeah, was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the picture.
Can't remember the
Golden
first.
Ann sent.
At your home in Boca, your strawberry cheese pie, with Don giving us a demonstration with his kite plume at your plant. Paul and Loretta at Ann Sen's birthday party. Our friendship is a friendship worth its weight in gold and belongs in a golden album of memories. Love you, Sylvia.
Thank you.
In the early days, I had been in contact with
I can't believe
MIT.
you got that kind of a memory.
I was making a study of dynamics, aerodynamics. We made in our kitchen, in Chalapur Avenue, a small blimp made out of Egyptian cotton that I had obtained from the United States rubber. And I put a crossbar, dead center, about 16 feet wide, and the body was streamlined about 12 feet. And we blew it up with a vacuum cleaner. And that day we made history. There was a good wind, and we flew the blimp. We flew beautifully, and we made history in flying the blimp air inflated. That woke me up of the unlimited potentials of dynamic versus operating with aerodynamic, which I'm involved in right now.
Was it a Hoover?
Valdo Lambert, another problem crime. Put up the kite and down the road. The girl in red is nothing. You think the girl in red is my daughter.
My apple. You all done? I am. I got all the goodies I'm gonna get.
Mr. Jalbert, when I was a young boy, went to Barry Field, and they said the lady was going to fly in a kite. And I was there that day, and I pulled a rope. What year was that? Do you recall?
He had someone before he became mayor.
Do you remember what year that was? I'm trying to remember how old it was. Was that the 40s, early 40s? During the war? Yeah.
88 years old.
Well, I understand the daughter who did that is here. Would you come? What's her name? Dorothy? Do you remember the year that you flew on the 1942? I was 10 years old. You flew on a kite over Barry Field.
Oh, I sure do. Not really, not at that age.
Do you know that we appeared on, in the news at the Bijou Theater, Movie Tone News? Yeah, I saw us. I saw you. There were about 1,000 kids there that day. But I never forgot that. And I always wondered if I had imagined it, but it really happened, huh? And we have a picture of you back here, I think. Darius, we have a picture here on the kite? Yes, there it is. You all ought to come up after and see. That's you up there? You all ought to come up and see that after. As we close out, the only thing wrong with this program today, there was no music. How about singing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow? On 3, 1, 2, 3. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, that nobody can deny, that nobody can deny, that nobody can deny, for he's a jolly good fellow, that nobody can deny.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Dario bought this. This is our wedding. That's okay. You better show it to me.
You're looking good. You still practicing?
Gotta practice.
Excuse me?
Last one, they brought the college.
Really?
Last year, tuition, we had the same tuition for about 15 years. Every year.
You don't want my ball headed.
Financing my first project.
We'll have Norman stop the, will you please stand?
Civilian salute. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the blood bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Just wait on Tonight, I don't think there's any question as to what we're here for. In fact, there's enough people here to start a racetrack. The track team's back in order again from the high school. I have two recollections that I had with you just a few years back, about 60 years. You and I,
Nice round figure.
when we flew kites off the McCarty building on Monuments at Depot Square.
With an emblem of the Boy Scout.
That is right. It was Boy Scout week. And another a very good memory. I had an affair going on at Effenrefer Estate in Bristol, where there was going to be about 12,000 Boy Scouts. There was a big camporee. And I spoke to you about doing something, and you said, well, what do you want? I said, well, we have a flag. I thought, okay, how big is the flag? I said, I think it's about 14 by 20. Okay, so you showed up with 3 kites, and you put the kites up, we hooked the flag up, and up it went. The beauty of it was, as the cloud formation came in after the kites were up, and the kites weren't seen. Everybody was wondering, how in the heck is that being upheld up there? What a flag was that? That was quite I remember that, as though it happened yesterday. So, enough of that. Now we'll have Mr. Robert Mulcahy, who is representing Mr. Moran tonight on the biography.
Thank you, Mr. Archer. I don't know if I can fit back there.
Well, we'll make it.
Lose weight.
My name is Bob Mulcahy. I'm the assistant principal here at the high school. And it's a pleasure to represent Mr. Moran, who's the retiring principal, happens to be in Boston. He makes this affair every year, feels it's a very important thing for the city of Woonsocket. However, he has another commitment in Boston, has to be there tonight. And so his unfortunate situation leads to my fortunate situation being here. Just a couple of things before I begin. When the Hall of Fame was started a number of years ago in Woonsocket, there was a question of where it should be located, and whoever made the decision to locate it here, right, was an absolute genius, because passing these very halls every day of 1,500 students, and they don't just go by here and ignore this. They stop and they look at it, and they read it, and they know who these people are, right? In addition, we have a great number of courses here. One is of local history, Woonsocket history, and today I dropped into the class and I said, well, we're honoring a gentleman tonight, Mr. Jalbert. Does anyone know who he is? And it's, you know, they happen to know different facts about you. And one little boy in the back said, I read about him, he's the master of the wind. Taken from some article, apparently, that was written about you, and that's how he remembered you, as the master of the wind. Allow me to read your biography. I was told that your name is Domina Jalbert. Is that right? Is that a good pronunciation? Known as the Einstein of aerodynamics, born in northern Quebec in 1904. 17th of 21 children, moved to Woonsocket in 1916 and proudly claims Woonsocket as his hometown. Kite flying was his hobby, the wind his curiosity. And his saying was, minds are like parachutes. They only function when they open. I used that quote today in talking to a student. In the 1930s, he was chief rigger of the barrage balloon division of the U.S. Rubber Company. Prior to World War II, he produced Kite 2. They tell me it's a combination of kite and a balloon, which was used by the U.S. Navy, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the explorer Richard Gere. He has designed self-inflated sea markets for boats and aircrafts in trouble. In 1964, invented the parafoil. And my students tell me it's known as the Jalbert parafoil. The first of which is a part of the collection of the Smithsonian Institute. He flew his parafoil on top of the Great Wall of China and in the middle of Red Square. His other accomplishments include being guest speaker at American and Canadian universities, including Harvard, MIT, Laval, symposiums held by NASA, holder of the gold medal, the International Parachuting Committee, the Aerodynamic Accelerator, and Balloon Technology Award, and is listed in Who's Who in American Inventors. He has also had the distinction of being one of the only two laymen in history to lecture at the American Academy of Science. He is the holder of 120 medals, 13 cups, and many other trophies. He lives in Boca Raton, Florida, where his laboratory is located. We are very proud to welcome you to Woonsocket and to Woonsocket High School, Mr. Jalbert. And we are happy that our students will know of you in the future as well as today. Thank you.
I think that was well said. I think that covers quite a bit of territory. Now you know why you're here. On the radio today, they were asking you, why are you here? That's why.
That's a good reason.
Now, would I ask son?
Yeah. That's my wife.
What?
And my sister.
Sister, would you do the honors of taking these cords and unveiling the flag?
We get the full string again.
Now, we'll have a word from His Honor, the Mayor of Woonsocket, Mayor Lanctot.
What an honor for me. Everybody give a hand.
That's nice.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. It is an honor for me to be in this room tonight with so many wonderful Woonsocket and Woonsocket citizens and neighbors, and it's especially thrilling to have Mr. Jalbert with us. They say there are no more heroes in the world today. We hear that many, many times on television. Heroes don't exist. All they have to do is come to Woonsocket. And here they are, some very spectacular heroes, and we're very proud of them. And I think it's a terrific inspiration, as Bob said, to have this in the high school, where thousands and thousands of kids will walk by here, and they will stop and they'll read them, and they're going to have a dream in their mind, and they may pursue their dream. And that's the real lesson of this, as far as I'm concerned. If you have a dream, pursue it, and the dream will come true. And the kids... What was that, sir? That was your dream, and you made it come true.
Thank you.
Mr. Jalbert, it is a real honor to have you here. I saw you and your Aunt Rogers show a couple of years ago. Very inspirational to me. You were on WNRI. I thought you should have been a comedian on the Bob Hope Show. You have a sparkling personality, and another inspiration is the fact that you said that you had very little education, so you did it the hard way, 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. So once again, thank you on behalf of the people of Woonsocket, and you are always welcome to come back.
This is my hometown.
Stay here with us. No relation. But if he's a nice guy, I'll say yes.
And now, you still talk, you've been talking all day. Get to say a few words now?
Never.
How cute.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, my family, and friends, I'm very happy to be here with you tonight. This is my hometown. Hey, Mr. Ayer. The beginning of this, the people that have greatly contributed to what I have done, to what I have grown to be, has been made possible by others. Alone, a man has no value, is no good unless he has somebody to encourage him and supply him. My best supporter was my wife. My mother made kites for me. In the early 30s, I had a problem. The Lambert brothers, Bondor and his brother, set up my dog. There's the guy that helped me in the 30s, named Norman Lambert. We had a problem with putting up banners, like Mr. Lockwright mentioned. Then, there was an election. There's a man named Dupree. And by that time, like Mr. Lockwright mentioned, I had big kites. I walked to Ernest. I said, how would you like your name over social prayer? Vote for Dupree. He said, how much is it going to cost me? I said, I don't know the price of a coil of rope. So I went to Mayu Hardware on Radland Street. I bought a coil of rope. I said, Ernest, this will cost you $15. He was my first paying customer. Because of this, the Saturday Evening Post carries story all over the United States. And I've always been proud to be from Woonsocket, which is my hometown, as well as I'm proud to have you here tonight in my behalf. And I hope you have a nice evening and I have the pleasure to meet you again.
I met a few people coming in and they said that you were a coach for a running team. The son. Was it Woonsocket High? How many are here? How many now? Okay. You get part of a team, they're all ready to start. And my nephew was going to be here tonight, but he had to go to Maine.
Was it maniac? What does that mean? When I came here, I was interested in sports and athletics. I had been around, won a couple of national championships. And I went to Mount St. Charles. I was interested in track and physical and this kind of stuff. And I became physical director and an athletic coach at Mount St. Charles. Being the only man without a formal education, none of the other coaches knew my background. So I challenged Berryville. I studied the background of the coach. The things he didn't know is what I specialize in. We beat LaSalle University College, Class A champion. We were Class B. I found out that the coach was a cross-country runner. So we had him, let's do away with this, I'm a bunch of rookie. You know, so he said, oh, that's just a pushover. So they forego all the events that I don't want them to compete with, but I kept all the ones we excelled in. And we beat the hell out of them.
We could be here all night. You know, these things here do not take place without help. It takes a committee and it takes people to work on it. I would like to name the committee that helped to put this together. Robert Ayer, Dorothy Joy, Jim Cannon. Hold your applause that we had all done. That we'll Jim Cannon, Norman Cournoyer, Jamoran, Bernard Lavalley, Mimi Riley, Dorothy Godali, Henry Godali, Emily Mack, Louis Mack, Phyllis Thomas, Peter Glode, and the Demers have been some help on this particular affair too, and of course myself. Now we will all go down to the other end of the hall to the left, and we can have some coffee and some refreshments.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, there is snow on top of the mountains in Mexico City.
We're going to do it a couple more times.
And,
Okay.
yeah, we used to
Ready?
spell a lot of things.
Mr. Jalbert, right into my lens for me, please, sir. That's fine. Okay, good. Yeah. You're all set to go. I just want to see you for 1 minute. Okay. Okay.
Go back and have
Here with the building. Hey,
You've retired a dozen times already.
hey, when I sold it, I didn't do the wind soccer. The wind soccer trademark.
Yeah.
I made it down. I made a deal with the guy that bought the building because he wanted it out.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
That's Mimi Riley. Blackstone. Mayor Blackstone.
What is that?